Hey guys, it's me. I just got done working out and I am exhausted. I like working out on Sunday morning because there's hardly anybody at the gym, so I don't have to worry about social distancing or anything like that. It's just me and the weights and the cleaning crew. So I was listening to Pastor John Gray and David Goggins this morning, which is a hilarious combination if you know of David Goggins or John Gray. One is a pastor and one is a soldier. And David Goggins is a very brutal, raw, motivational speaker. And he wrote a book. He's got an incredible story. But he is definitely not polished. He's not polished. And I think that's the appeal. I love listening to John Gray. But I grew up in the church. So sometimes I need to shock my system with the truth brought about with a different style, you know. And I think that's what it's all about these days is shocking our system to adapt to growing again. When you're working out, which has often been the case for me, is I would plateau and I'd stop losing weight, I'd stop getting stronger, so I'd have to change my workout to shock my system so that it could still grow and become leaner, meaner, stronger, and faster. And I think that's our problem in society is that we've gotten so used to our routine that we plateaued and that's become our normal. And so when truth comes in in an alien form with a different delivery system, we reject it consciously and subconsciously. We can't handle it. And so part of my whole routine, not just in the gym, but in life, is training myself to be flexible enough to accept knowledge and information, to accept truth, regardless of how it comes at me. And that takes skill. I'm telling you. Because this morning, I got up late. I didn't sleep well last night, and I could hear my wife getting ready. She she gets up, she does her Bible study, and then I heard her getting ready to go on a bike run. And I thought she was gonna wake me up and ask me if I wanted to go too, but she didn't. So I said, okay, no problem. So I prayed that she'd be safe and everything, and slowly got dressed. And then she came back, and I was like, hey, how was your bike ride? Da 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 da. And she said it was great. And I said, you didn't wake me up to go with you. And she said, well, I know because I went for a really long bike ride and I was going up and down hills. And honey, you're too slow. And she didn't mean to hurt my feelings. Because if anybody knows my wife, she's very bluntly honest, almost like a kid. You ever go in the store with a kid, and the kid turns around and sees this lady or this man and says, "Mommy, they are so fat," and the mother's like, "Shh, honey, we don't say that," And I wonder if that is how we're first taught to lie. Because the kid didn't mean anything by it. He's just learning to describe things as they are. And so my wife was just stating the truth. She wanted a good workout, and I'm too slow. So my job is, do I accept the truth of this situation and ignore the problem? Because I see a lot of us doing that today. We get brutal truth that's happening in today, not just in our society, but within ourselves. And we have the choice: do we accept that and make plans to change that, or do we bury our head and ignore it and go on about it as business as usual? And that's the problem that's happening today. We are fighting so hard to be comfortable with an uncomfortable truth, and it's not working. And this is the sacrifice. When they talk about in church in the Bible about we have to die to ourselves. and that the truth will make us free. That is a choice. You have to choose to be great. You have to choose to overcome. You have to choose to persevere. Or you can choose to go right back to Netflix and chilling. You can choose to go right back to your addiction and getting high. You can choose to go right back to anger, rage, resentment, and bitterness and just live there. Because you can't be loving and forgiving and resentful and bitter at the same time. It's impossible. You have to make a choice. And so when she told me I was too slow, I was upset for about 10 seconds. And then I smiled, gave her a kiss, and told myself, never again. I rededicated myself, I killed it in the gym today. Rededicated myself to getting back on my journey to be healthy, not just physically, but emotionally. So when I hear truth that doesn't come all watered down and sugar coated and nice and friendly and fuzzy, and it's hard and it's brutal and it's prickly and it cuts me, I can accept that. And I can take that cut as a surgical incision that is meant to heal me and not kill me. So when you're in surgery, it's imperative that when they're cutting into you that you don't move so that they can cut the fat, the cancer, the tumor cells out of your body so that you can heal. But if you move during that process, you run the risk of getting healthy organs cut along with the bad ones. And you'll continue to be injured and hurting and you'll bleed out. And a lot of us are squirming under the incision of the truth and we're bleeding out. We're getting infected and the wound is septic. So there was this saying that I heard, and I love this saying. And Will Smith had said it, and he was quoting something that the Marines said, that everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And so I was kind of thinking about that saying because in my mind, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to travel through hell. And the hell that we have to deal with is uncovering the lies that we've been telling ourselves, that we've been comfortable with, and rediscovering the truth of who we're supposed to be. So that's my message for this Sunday morning. I love you guys. I'm going home to get a shower. Peace.